All right, folks, we are live. First 18 holes on the GSPro beta, newest update here. We'll see. This may be the one and only time we play, unless you guys want to keep seeing a little bit more of it. But we went through pretty in depth last night on a live stream, going through mainly the visual things. I know the underlying Unity update and all that stuff. Take It Low was mentioning that he thought it ran a little bit smoother, so we only played, I think, 3 holes last night. Full 18, be able to get a better judge. And to me, it seems like most of this has been visual updates. And apologies for your name if you happen to catch this, but someone left a comment and mentioned J Glove, I think, was the best one. He said said it looked like Windows 95, and I can't unsee it. Besides that, someone mentioned in a comment that they thought maybe this looks kind of more like a lighter mobile version, which kind of makes sense looking at it. So there was always those rumors of like opening it up to iPads and whatnot to be less like strenuous on the computer. We'll see if that happens, but it does kind of look like it a little bit. I don't think that's far-fetched by any means, but we're gonna see how it is. You guys are looking at the range. Still don't love the fonts and whatnot, but maybe it'll grow on me a little bit. Griffey Gaming, what's going on, buddy? Golfy, what's up, Golfy? We got Kari Cones, I think it was, followed on Twitch. Appreciate it. But so if you're curious, there was I think hour and a half live stream last night. We went through pretty much everything. Definitely go check that out. If not, we're gonna warm up here and we're doing Twisted Sticks. It's a club. I don't know, never have a good way to explain clubs, but it's a SGT club, and we're gonna play. It's called the Stroke Event. It's at like, honestly, I don't remember the name. I look up the names and then like I put them in. We play so many courses with all the scrambles and everything. It's kind of tough to remember what, but it's like AL something, AL Austin maybe. What are you working on for courses, Golfy? You got anything cool coming out? I haven't been doing as many of the course reviews because I've been searching for the go-to ball for the square. So far, it's these USA pattern blue and red star pattern balls that are the MaxFly Tour X's. But I need to, if you notice, every single time I hit it, I have to bend down and turn the ball so the blue side is facing the square. Besides that, they're awesome. I was just hopeful. I've done some testing on different balls lately, and I was hopeful that a line pattern, because those are pretty big lines that wrap the whole ball. I was thinking that maybe it would be enough surface area for the square to lock onto. And I tested those almost golf balls, which is a pretty cool test, pretty cool video. But I tried a couple times aligning it to where the square could lock onto just the almost golf ball, a little tiny logo on the ball, and it seemed to work decent. So that's why I was hopeful between the align balls with, it's like 3 black lines, and then I think there's a couple gray ones in between. But that goes all the way around the ball, and the 2 MaxFly logos on either side, but it was a no-go. Had to switch to YouTube. The other server was choppy. Really? Glitchy Golf was saying yesterday he thought it was the opposite. Wonder if there's something going on. I'm all plugged in and everything via like Ethernet and whatnot, so we'll see about the game. Nice thing is, game in terms of how I hit it. Nice thing is it's really warm. I wasn't keeping an eye quite as closely as I usually do on the weather. It's been kind of a crazy couple days. But we're at 46.6 in the garage. It's about just shy of 50 outside, so it's honestly pretty nice. It looks like I'm wearing the same stuff, but I just don't have my thermal layer on underneath and my electric socks that all you guys like. My electric socks are on low instead of medium. So life's good in terms of temperature wise today. Glitchy Golf says smooth. Could be because streaming on my phone. Yeah, it could be your service if you're not on Wi-Fi, maybe. Shout out to the people that have been kind enough over the past couple days to use their completely free, great way to support the channel for free, but they're completely free Prime subs over on Twitch. All you have to do is link your Amazon account, or not even, I guess it doesn't really even have to be yours, just a Amazon account with an Amazon account that has Prime, and you can basically it works the same as like a YouTube membership. You get one free one per month just because Amazon owns Twitch. I did some more tweaking. So the past, what was it, 2 days, when like Flying Fat Kid Rich were kind enough to send super chats. I heard it when it got read out, but I couldn't quite see them on my end, but I had to do some research and I figured out, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that was chunky. Still don't know about this camera view when it hits and kind of zooms in on towards the ground. I think it was Strong Design Studio, he put like 2 pictures. I couldn't tell a ton difference, but he put the 2 pictures of field of view from like further or closer. That was the thing. It didn't do anything for me last night on the range, or maybe that was the one. The narrow UI didn't do anything. The field of view just turned it. It looked like on the range. Maybe I need to try it on the course once we start playing. But that was, I think, one of the settings that was like used with caution pretty much. So that may not be a bad one for me to stay away from for a little bit. So we got Thursday Thunder. I post a lot of the stuff just in Discord, so I don't do the best job of getting like some information out, like posting it on the channel and whatnot. But if you want to kind of keep up with some of the stuff we have going on, Discord's the best place to do it. But I recently, Glitchy Golf was talking about it here last time, saying as just a viewer of Thursday Thunder, it was kind of tough to follow, bouncing around in different channels and whatnot. So I hadn't really thought about it. I just tried my best to share out everyone's different streams, but that spurred the idea. I have a public playlist, so I'm just going to update it every single week. If you just save that playlist as like a bookmark or however you want to do it, that'll essentially work as the permanent home of Thursday Thunder. So you'll be able to see all the videos. I'm going to change the order. It seemed like there was a weird bug in YouTube. It was telling me to select like a different language before I could change them. But that will be the new home, to where they'll be in order from when we're playing, and you don't have to bounce around and try to search for something. So we'll see how it goes. Do I need someone to play with? I'm doing the Twisted Sticks. What's up, Second Flight Golf? I got to watch it. I think you posted an update video as well. I'd assume you just condensed it down for a lot of the stuff we went over. I'm doing the Twisted Stick Stroke. There's no way that you can really, I mean, you can play along if you want. If you want, though, over the next maybe few days, could maybe do like a scramble or something. I've been trying to. I'm playing with Sticeman. I got Thursday Thunder tomorrow, and I'm playing with Sticeman Friday. I've been trying to, I don't know if I mentioned that to you or not, I've been trying to prioritize playing with the members that are kind enough to support. Some of which, like Crazy Me and Stice Man, haven't played just one-on-one. We played a bunch in like groups and whatnot, but I'm trying to do that stuff. And ideally more than just one time, obviously. Thunder won't be messed up if someone in the group is running beta versus not. Yes and no. Busy man? Yeah. I mean, I'm down to play. It's just, I mean, rightfully so. The people that are kind of support, I feel like they should get priority when my schedule's getting filled up. But you've been going hard with the videos. It's cool to see. If you want, though, I mean, we're playing tomorrow night, second flight. You're more than welcome to join Thursday Thunder. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Frank's been doing an awesome job. I think he may have the team set, but definitely, I put up a poll for about 3 days every time, and whoever wants to play, can just join and select their preferred time, which is all in the Discord. But if you want to play in that for sure, going forward. Ryan, in terms of beta, everyone has to be on the same thing. So I recommend tomorrow everyone goes over to stable. That's what like 75% of the users use, maybe even more. But there's been times like last time when I played Bogey's Backyard, I think was on beta or someone was. You have to go in and everyone needs to be on the same version. So I think we're doing 3-man teams. All 3 people need to be all on beta or all on stable. And again, so I think Stice was kind of asking the same thing. This isn't a mandatory update. This is an optional beta. It's more for testing. So this is not This is not mandatory. Like this isn't coming to the stable yet. This is just an optional thing that you can go over and download if you want. So if you're on stable, it's not like you need to like decline an update or something. I don't know when the next big update's coming, but this one is only if you want it kind of thing. It's a good question, though. All right, we'll see. We'll see how we hit these. Did I mess with the field of view? Makes the ball look more forward. We changed it a little bit last night. I can do it here. I guess it makes sense on the range. It may not do a ton. The problem is Flying Fat Kid. I was just kind of mentioning that like 5 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure that was one of the settings that was like used with caution. Yeah. Advanced change with caution. So like we're at 40 right now. If we go up to 55, you see how it just changes. That's why I was on this. I was like, what's the point of this? I don't know which one. We can do it on the course. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy with the stream, but we can see which one extends it out further. It just makes it, from what Strong Design Studio posted, those 2 pictures, to me, it just makes it look like one of them is more of like an elongated, you see more of the hole kind of thing. But we can, once we get to the first hole or 2, we can mess around with that, and hopefully my computer doesn't go haywire like it does its studs. Yeah, for them to gather feedback. Notice they updated the beta an hour ago? Really? I didn't notice which one I got. Last night after I was done, I was like, all right, we're going to go back over to stable. So I went back, and then before I came out here, I had to re-download the beta. So I didn't really have plans of going back over, but I figured for 18 holes, I'll at least try it. Take it low. Thinks that there's maybe some kind of gameplay improvements, a little bit smoother kind of thing. But the font size is dumb. I agree. So I didn't know last night. I double-checked the resolution settings. Last night, things were a little bit wonky because I was like loading it and I was expecting to get the configuration. That was one thing Second Flight Golf said, that I guess they got rid of it altogether. It's weird because they still have the toggle option when you load it up, and it wasn't like deselected to skip the configuration window. But if he wasn't getting it too, then that wasn't just like a bug on my end. That means they got rid of it. And all that to say, this time I'm set up on both like the display and the resolution are both at 1080p Ultra. But I wasn't sure last night if that was partially how the numbers were getting displayed, but they look the same. They're a little bit tighter. Maybe you can make an argument a little bit cleaner, but personally, I still like the bolder ones better, and still not a fan. I think the biggest thing is the 429, the aim marker, is not great. I think I got to take. Someone was telling me last night either they said half a step or a quarter inch, either forward or back. I don't know which one they said, but I think I need to go a little bit further back. I've been catching all these Healy. You guys see C-Drum's newest creation that he was teasing in the Discord? Should be pretty cool. Grip a sit back in the house. I don't know what it is. Off balance, I guess. The past couple of days, it's just everything I'm like pulling up on it so much. It's got to be that my driver, Wonky Wonka. Wonky Wonka. He's wonky for sure. Irons have just been off these past like 3-4 days. Junior golf version of it, like a bluey course. I mean, all those fantasy ones he does are par threes, and he always does junior tees. So you can just select junior tees at any of those because he builds them for his kids. But usually, what he does is a par three. He usually does 2 tees. He usually does a par three, like for us, and then he does a junior tee for the kiddos. All right, that was better. Ball was a little bit further back in the stance. Maybe that's what it is. Has anyone messed around with this beta yet or no? Thanks for the follow, DFG. Chat seems to be acting up again. Oh, man. This is going to be ugly. There's like a mental block these past 3-4 days. Enjoy my tournaments. Appreciate it. This is, I guess, this is another one kind of like a tournament. This will be another kind of tournament play. This is the stroke play event, so we're competing against the leaderboard. Am I back to the TP5 picks? No, I'm using the Max Fly USA star pattern. So every time you see me bend down, this is what the ball looks like. Half the ball, like the complete half of the ball is red, and the other complete half is blue. So every time I put it down, I make sure that's what the score is looking at versus that, because it can't see the red. But as long as you just turn the ball to where even like that will work, anything to where basically it has 2 or 3 of those stars to lock onto, works as good as the picks for sure. And they're just cheaper. The picks are the easiest if like money's not a huge thing. Personally, I like the performance too out of these better. They fly straighter. They're a bit hotter off the face, but those are like $2 a ball, $2.50 a ball versus $5. So they're like double for the picks. But if you just want ease of use, just to throw it down, you can definitely go picks. No, I'm not in the cash game, Murph. I'm not a big gambler, to be honest. I know it's only $11, but all right, that's better. We'll take a pull draw versus a set up for a draw and then hit a Healy fade. We'll take that. You just bought those as well in the Tour X? Yeah, I really like them. I personally, even if they were the same price, like if these in the TP5, I was using the X's, but TP5, TP5X, even if these were the same price, I would still pick. I like the performance out of these better than the TP5X. Haven't cracked one either, but that could be because I've been using 2 dozen in rotation. Because Ubsy Golf was the one that mentioned I was cracking. I probably cracked like 4 dozen TP5 balls, and Ubsy said that he switched over to Flying Fat Kid.
F Golf's tipped $19.99 through Super Chat. Friday money match payout just in case.
FFK, you're the man. Appreciate you, buddy. That's one of the, one of the biggest Super Chats I've ever gotten. You're the man, FFK. I guess so. He's prepaying. That means I may have to send that over to Sticeman. Buy me into the cash game. Thank you, Flying Fat Kid. FFK with some new, hopefully some of you guys, I made a Discord event last night for old FFK. He got some brand new irons that he put into play. It was pretty fun watching. So you said, I saw some of your message, your update, Flying Fat Kid. I don't know if you're going to be here for a second, but you said you were going to look into getting them bent back to standard. I think you said you went 2 degrees weak. So you thought it was too much in terms of like being, what was it, 3 clubs versus like 1 or 2, I think. Stice smelled that sweet cash. What's up, Stice? Stice will win still. We'll see about that. Notice much for the new update. Haven't done it yet. So DFG, I was saying before, this is just the beta. So it's just an optional update. You don't have to worry about if you don't like it. It's not like a forced update that you have to do. But the biggest thing is, so far, the graphics in terms of what everything looks like. Like the font and the layouts. Like they changed this, the big A marker up here. The wind is different. The menu looks completely different. We're going to see here. I played 3 holes last night at Georgia Golf Club, but this would be the first time for 18 holes. 2 clubs off. That's not bad, though. I mean, like you were saying last night, I was trying to tell you for like 6 months that you don't need to hit. I know it's fun to do, and you were joking about it, but you don't need to hit your 7-iron 210. So, I mean, even 2 clubs off of that, I don't know if the 2 is necessarily bad in terms of weak. That's why I was just saying keep an eye on your backspin. Like if you look at a good place is those PGA Tour TrackMan averages. Not that we're close to them, but if you use that as kind of your North Star, you take a look at what they're spinning their irons, and like the general rule of thumb, I don't know, people could disagree with it, but generally you want to be around the amount of RPMs per your club, meaning like 7-iron spinning around 7,000 RPMs, 8-iron, 8,000, etc. So you have the stopping power is the more important part. Crushing it in the house. And then Hoosier. I'm sorry, guys. So last week I was trying out some different stuff too, and I kept reading, like someone would say Hoosier in the chat. So I'm reading Hoosier, and that's the last name in my mind. And then I'll look up on the screen, and it was Crushing It that would hit it. And Hoosier would be in the name in my mind. I would say, oh, good shot, Hoosier, good shot, Crushing It. Kale, you want to play during lunch? I'm going to play a tournament. I'm going to do, it's a club event. It's kind of like, it's essentially like a private little group. There's only like 30 people. It's a private group in SGT. So it's essentially kind of like a private league. This is the stroke play event. I got to get this done. Otherwise, I sometimes leave stuff too far in the week and I don't end up playing and I don't want to get booted out. So same thing I told Second Flight Golf, though. I've been prioritizing the people that either kind enough to send super chats or be members of the channel, trying to play with them. So me and Sticeman, that's why Flying Fat Kid sent a generous super chat. Me and Sticeman are doing a head-to-head. Also, the Twisted Sticks Club, we're doing a head-to-head on Friday, doing the pitch and putt. I think it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern Friday. I'll have it on my channel. And me and Sticeman, he's been putting up some crazy scores in the pitch and putts lately. We're going to go mano-y-mano and see if I can take down the reigning champion of the pitch and putt. I won't do pitch and putt. I may do par 3, though, Sticeman. I think we do, personally, what's up, TX? TX in the house, absolute baller in general, but baller in the leagues, too. He's won a couple times. Sticeman, I think we do the 1v1 pitch and putt. That'll be fun. We can take our time. And then after that, I think you pick whatever course you want. If you want to do like Ole Miss or something, I think we do a 2-man SGT course record after. So we can be mortal enemies up until then and talk trash. But then we need to come together and mend fences and be on the same team for a scramble. 55 descent angle. Not worry about stopping. Twist is the most elite club. It's a fun setup. Foes and friends, yeah. I think that's the way to do it. It'll be fun. We'll have the competition and then... oh, here we go, TX. I saw that the other night. I was trying to comment on Triple Bogeys. I think I popped in. I don't know if you saw it. I was trying to comment on Triple Bogey's live stream. I saw you guys were both in there. Freaking TX and Ubsy stole me and Danko's, what was it, Santa Teresa course record. I see how it is. Maybe, Sticeman, maybe we'll go after one at TX. Not that we have much of a chance, but maybe we'll do that. We'll go after one of him and Ubsy's course records. Do a couple on the week. We got a couple on the weekend. That's what it's all about, right? It's fun. We do the Thursday Thunder TX if you ever want to play. We all do. Not as many people this week. The last couple weeks we had 6 groups, 6 foursomes going for the same course record, and we have Captain Frank, who's been doing a really good job making sure that teams are even. But we've been doing those. Those are really fun. That's what we need. I just need to do that. It's a little bit spinny. But that's what we need to be able to do about 15 times. But that's what the course records are all about. It's fun going for an open one, but it is fun going like Flying Fat Kid. Flying Fat Kid talks a big game about stealing them, but I don't know if he's taken any. But it is fun going against people that you know, and go try to snag one. Tried 6 solo records and 2 team. Achieved 4 solo and 2 team. It's your winner thing. Oh, I mean, you're TX. You don't do SGT, do you? You don't do much of it? Like, you would be up there in the world golf rankings if you were consistent with it, but TX can go out there and put up 10, 15 under by himself. So pretty much if you get, I know Oobsy can bomb the ball too, or Ubsy. You get another baller with you, it's going to be tough for anyone else to take those. Jeez. If you guys go crazy on one of them, though, I may recruit the big dog to take you down. FFK took one from Lefty. You like the leagues? Yeah, the leagues are fun. I was saying the other day, so this is a Twisted Sticks Club, which is kind of a extra level. But to me, most fun is doing like 2-man scrambles, Thursday Thunder, that stuff. Then I would put this club second. I would go leagues third, and then SGT, like the regular tours, at the bottom. Personally, in terms of like enjoyment, fun factor. Oh man, the club just completely twisted. Within hours. Wasn't that you were playing with someone? I remember that. That was a little while ago. You were playing with someone, Murph, and it was like their home course, and they were super excited. And then Flying Fat Kid, I don't think he knew, but maybe he did. I don't know. Flying Fat Kid swooped in and stole it like as soon as you guys finished. I think I found a solution to the Discord members' concern with confusing jumping between streams at the same time. Shoot me a message in Discord. I enjoy knowing most of the competition. Yeah, it's cool playing against people on the leaderboard that you know. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we have like JT Walsh. I got him once. I beat all you jokers one time so far in my own league. But obviously, the JT Walshes of the world are just absolute robots. And I'm glad that he even takes time to play in my league sometimes. But competing with him on a regular basis, not quite attainable. Same thing with TX. I get lucky a couple times, but for the most part, you're probably beating me 7, 8 times out of 10. Maybe more, maybe 9. You and JT go back and forth. It's fun. I think he was playing a ton outside. He was doing Q School stuff, so I don't think he was playing in the sim a ton, unless I'm mistaken. Scramble partner lives on Red Hawk Ridge. Woke up in the morning, he was gone. Day of Retribution is coming. Somehow CC only shot 1 under. I mean, people, even as good as those guys are, how good CC is, I mean, everyone, TX, everyone has swing changes. They go through different stuff. So it's not like just because you're good, you're always good. It's just how good your good is and how bad your bad is kind of thing. So maybe CC's doing like a big swing change. You know what I mean? And like 1 under is like a terrible round form kind of thing, which sounds like it could be the case. Hasn't lately as much. Body's never the same every day. Yeah, 100%. Like even with me, I have to factor in the weather too. How the weather's not the same, and like it's warmer right now. All right. Well, it's like off the planet left or off the planet right, with a lot of spin both ways. I lofted up for the winter time. I don't know if that's the play or not. It has been a bit. The miss has definitely been spinny. May try knocking it down. Been driving the ball halfway decent, but you can shoot 400 and then plus 14. Climb too many stairs, you'll block it. Move some blocks, so you pull it. 100%. Upper body, lower body. Flying Fat Kid was saying that a little bit last night, where he says his lower body, his legs kind of overpower and become a little too dominant. I'm the other way. Probably not the best idea making a driver change before doing a stroke play tournament round here, but I'm not in the money match, so fake hip, you go both ways. We got some guys in here that maybe would say the same thing. We will play here in a second, but sometimes when my swing, sometimes it works. Just going to the course of figuring out. Right now, it's like stuff is all over the place. So I'd rather just hit a couple more on the range before. All right, we'll end it on that. So that's still, I've been catching stuff low in the face, still kind of spinny. I like being higher launch in like 1800, but this is an 8 degree QI10 LS. I had it from 8 up to 10 because it's been so cold in here, but I just went back down to 8 degrees upright. So we'll see. I feel like maybe that one, instead of spinning up towards like 3,000, 3,500 like we've had lately, maybe that low miss there is 2,400 instead. That would be nice. But if you guys haven't seen, so that's the load screen. Now this is the new main menu on the beta, which to me, again, the looks don't mean a ton, but if you're loading something up every single time and when you think the current version looks better, to me this looks not as nice and as premium. But one of the cool things here is they did add the leaderboard, so you can check before you go into a round. Break 50 challenge. So like I was showing this last night, but like triple bogeys, for example, TX probably up there. Bandstagger shot 15, the big dog 14. J-Lag. Triple bogey's been on a heater too. He's good. JT's 8 under there. Ben's obviously good, but he's been on, I think, playing exceptionally well lately. He's been playing a lot, but he's been putting up some really low scores over the past maybe week or two, it seems like. Strong Design Studio. But you get the idea. Kind of cool that they added these. Stroke play, what do we need to do here? Stavi shot 7. Friendboy even, Tom 1, Golf Nut 1 over, Take It Low 1 over, Sads 2 over, Danko 6 over, Frank 7, Zona 8. That's a higher score for Zona. He's been putting up low scores too lately. Mr. M-Town Barber Rich with a 9 over, and Mr. Gilly through 10 is 11. Which makes it seem like this may not be the easiest. I don't mind this either in terms of how they set this up. So like everything's on the same screen, kind of nice. So we got 6,200 Friday pins, 5-foot gimme, normal, 800 feet elevation. So call it just like 1.5%, 2%, not much. 11 stimp. No wind, force realistic. Tournament round, here we go. You have a bunch to do still? Just started my YouTube golf channel, Only Tips. What's up? It's Jadwad. Wow, it's funny, we've been talking about this. Do we want to see that field of view thing here on this first tee to get a feel for it or no? We've been talking about that the past couple of days. I guess at the sake of sounding kind of glass half empty, but we were basically, the moral of the story over the past couple of days we've been talking about is you just got to stick with it because it'll likely take twice as much work as you think and probably twice as long as you think, depending on whatever your goal is. It's kind of the moral of the story. You like the old logo better? Me too. I like pretty much almost everything better in terms of visually about the old one. The one cool thing is when you switch to putter, the total length, now it shows it to you in feet. So like if you hit a putt, you have like a 30-foot putt and you miss it a little bit long and you hit it 32, it converts that over. Besides that, I'm not a huge fan of like the font and that kind of stuff, but let's I mean, this course looks pretty good as is, I would say, but we can mess with the field of view. So that's 40. We'll go all the way up to 55. It messes with my offset, seemingly. Does that look any different to you guys? Like, does it elongate it maybe? Like, now it has me seemingly, like my straight line over here is like into the mini map now, which is kind of wonky. Maybe you need to pick a field of view setting first and then do your offset after. But that was all the way up. This is all the way down now. And even this, the offset, looks like now we're a little bit more towards the middle. But I don't know if you notice if that changes a whole lot. To me, on my projector, which is very, very budget, running on 1080p Ultra, I can't tell a ton difference there. So we're going to go back to 40 and hit the flyover and hopefully hit a good shot here off the first tee. But it's Jot. I mean, I don't know. That probably wasn't the best answer. But basically, you got to figure out what you want to do in terms of, I guess, content and whatnot. Live stream shorts, videos. You want to put a ton into like making the very best possible video you can with crazy edits. Or if you want to go more of, I guess, like volume type of posting. And depends. You got to kind of pick an angle of like, why is my arrows not even on the ball? You got to pick kind of what you want to do, whether it's like swing tips or launch monitor stuff, outdoor golf. There we go. Kind of pick your lane, I would say, would be helpful if you kind of have some of that stuff figured out. But what do I know? I'm just an idiot playing golf. Oh no. That turned out way better than it should have. The ball definitely zooms in more as it comes down. You guys will have to see. You'll be a better judge than me. You'll have to see. Taylor's been saying he thought maybe the gameplay was a bit smoother in terms of, I guess, the ball coming down transition. That did look a bit seemingly a little slower and smoother. I guess you can make an argument. Just haven't played so much. The average viewer watching this probably wouldn't tell, but if you play this game enough, you can tell when they make little minor changes. 206 up the hill. All right, it's a par 5. They do anything with the heat map? I like those ridges. That was like an update 2 ago. I do like those. All right, long irons in general haven't been great. Long irons have been far less than that. So we're going to leave it straight. I'm going to try to draw it. I'm going to hit a 5 iron. I don't know necessarily where it's going to go, but hopefully it's halfway decent. Healy again. The way the ball reacted there, that seems a bit more muted. So I feel like the other version, the stable, that would like bounce a little bit more. That one kind of just thudded down seemingly. I feel like the camera's a little bit jumpy as it's following the ball. Not a very good shot. That's been kind of the moral, catching everything Healy. .22. I usually go 50% out of here. So we're going to play this as 33 and probably try to land it about 27. .27. Oh, I turned my gimme off. I forgot. Birdie. I got to turn that back on. That was one of the things. We were messing around with the putt out option last night. Flying Fat Kid, you've messed around with that with the no gimme circle. I mean, I don't mind it. It's just I feel like I probably play a little bit better and have a, where was that? Enable gimme circle. I think I have a better reference of like good shots, where to land it kind of stuff when that's actually on. 164 up to about 166. We're going to go 8 iron. And the miss is long left. You like no circle? I mean, it makes it more realistic. I'll give you that. If you're really trying to match outside, I think there's a fine, or there's like not a fine line, but there's like a balancing act between, yeah, you want to make it close, but you also want to make your sim experience, which will never be real golf, as good as it can be too. So I mean, a lot of that stuff though is just personal preference, whether you like it or not. There's no right or wrong. Found myself aiming to the circle instead of the hole. Yeah, I mean, you play quick though. I obviously play slower and I do all the math. So I do everything based on the raw carry anyways. Like I wanted 27 and I hit it 27.6, which happened to be a good one. But the circle doesn't do a ton for me other than when the ball's in the air, kind of judging. And sometimes too on like wind, if I say, okay, I want to aim on like the right side of the inner circle kind of thing. FFK. I don't know if I can read that. That's a good comment right there, Stice Man. Coming over the top. Bounce up there. Gotta let my hands drop. 16 fairway uphill. Yeah, I'll probably chip it. Is my gimme circle still not there? Oh, it's there. Hardcore 2v2 alt shot. I may be down for something like that. It honestly sounds just for like a one and done. There's been some other ideas. How long have we talked about like those challenges we were talking about, Flying Fat Kid, that we still haven't done? We got to do that too. But there's some other ideas that kind of some challenge type stuff. And I will warn you, certain stuff like one club challenges and stuff like that, if your game is either in a really good spot or not in a good spot, those things can mess with you if you hit like the same club for 18 holes. I've had times where I've done that to try to like have some fun, and then my game gets kind of wonky after it. So I will say beware about that. The hardcore mode is a good middle ground to where you're still playing everything straight up. You just can't see what the heck's going on. All right. 12-ish, 11, 12, 13-ish, somewhere in there. 13. Should have pulled the pin. Caw, baby. 2 under. Coming for you, Stavi. I'm coming for you. How do you like that, Stice Man? There's going to be a lot of that. A lot of that on Friday, Stice Man. Especially from a pitch and putt. I'm pulling the pin on every shot. Oh, no. Cover it. Okay, it's fine. A little more muted on the bounces, it seems like. That ball just it's sitting down. I know it's normal, but I feel like that would usually bounce more. The rough seems like it's kind of thudding. Same thing with the sand. So I guess there are some differences there. We didn't test it a ton, and like I came out kind of last minute and wasn't planning on playing. It was more so a walkthrough with the visual stuff. But now that we're playing it, I mean, Take It Low does have a point. It is, I mean, I guess you could say smoother. It's different. I don't know if I would say smoother yet, but I would say things are more muted based on these first couple, how the stuff is reacted. Should be just a pitch and wedge out of here, I think. if I don't hit it like a donkey. Grip and Sip wants in on the hardcore match. Need me to blade a couple of those? We'll see. I'll probably do the ladder again. I've been doing the ladder every day, Stice Man. One time, just in preparation. No draw. Not bad, but no draw. First putt of the day. Should be interesting. If you guys haven't done it, greatly appreciate. If you have Amazon Prime, which a lot of people do, you get a free sub, free monthly sub if you have Prime. So I'd appreciate it if you'd link up your Twitch account, or you can just make one for free in about 2 seconds. Good way to support the channel for absolutely free that you're likely didn't even know was there and not using. This is more stable. So me using my keyboard to tap and aim, this seems a lot more steady. You know how sometimes with the control box or a keyboard, when you're clicking left and right, it like jumps all over the place? This is, again, I would say more muted. This is more controllable by just clicking. It's not like jumping all over the place. It's doing more of like a standard click, which is nice. You're going to play me left-handed? We'll see about that, Stice Man. You can do whatever you want. If you think you're going to beat me left-handed, good luck. 25. I didn't hit it. That's not even in the circle, I don't think. There it is. Terrible putt. Good HLA. Terrible speed. Man, this is narrow. Well, we'll deal with the trees. We don't want anything to do with that OB over there. So we'll even take a snap hook here with it aimed kind of towards the left. Looks more controllable. It seemed more steady with that aim. I think take it low. I mean, he made some good points. We were all kind of focused on the big glaring things, which were the UI stuff. You see the last one too? I mentioned that putt. It tells you now as soon as you have putter selected, it
At Greg Sip Golf tip $2 Canadian through Super Chat. That will do, donkey.
Appreciate you, Grip and Sip. $2 Canadian, baby. It was cool. It said what currency it was. Appreciate you, Grip and Sip. Grip and Sip is a prime Twitch sub over there. You can see his name down below. It's not one of those, I was saying it the other day too, it's not one of those things where it's like free for the first month and then you start getting charged. It's 100% free if you have Amazon Prime. But I appreciate you, Grip and Sip. Oh, and I forgot too, I don't think I turned them off before. I should have. Flying Fat Kid flustered me. $20 super chat. I think I still have the ads on. All right, ads are off. Thank you to Grip and Sip and FFK. Got to run, hit him crooked, Hosel. See you, Dice Man. We're kind of taking our time, so may still be here if you come back. All right, I'm fine with that. definitely into the trees, but that is not near the OB, which is all we cared about. Something like that, I guess. That was actually hit halfway decent. It just toey. Spin was better. Something like that, I guess you can make an argument. I should just hit 3-wood, but those full shot 3-woods I don't also have the most confidence in. I think we're going to go 8. Been hitting these irons not so great. So I think 148 and then out of the rough. Let's see how this comes out. I think it's about a 155 pin. So about 150 would be good. I just got to hit the 8 smooth, not try to demolish it. Healy. Hit it 150. I will say the way that ball just lands in the rough, this is normal. It seems like it's playing closer to soft conditions on the fairways. I think that's better. I think maybe right between this and what they currently have it as, you get a little bit of a bigger bounce, which maybe is a little more accurate in terms of real life, it seems like. Like that was 7,000 spin. I don't know. It's coming in kind of high. You think it would be a slightly bigger bounce. But I think right between, I think this was a step in the right direction. Just maybe find the middle ground between the two. 14 out of the rough. 8 to the front. It's probably about a 10. $13. Wow. That it's tough to tell sometimes too. Is that the ball stopping that quick, or is that the camera that makes it seem like it? 10 would have been good. 13, not so good. But yeah, I'll do that for sure, FFK, if you want to do that. Me and Sticeman will take you down. We'll see if you still want to do it after we do our 2-man scramble on Friday. You see the two-man team in action, you guys may get scared. It's got to turn a little bit, right? 10 playing 12. I pulled it and nuked it. Is that a bogey? God. Okay, now we just need to, Jesus. Now we got to figure out a happy middle ground between that swing and the last one. That's a toe hook. The other one was a heel fade. What do we got out of this nonsense? 30 down to 28. Probably about 30 with the rough, maybe 31. So it's like a 20, 25, 27, somewhere in there. $14. Yikes. That bodes well for Sticeman on Friday. That's why I've been doing the ladder so much. Wedges, just no feel. We'll pull the pin just in case. Probably looking at another bogey here, to be honest. Well, back to even. That sucks. Hey, what's up, Stabby? I was you scroll back to the second hole. I was all high and mighty saying I was coming for you. Now we just had 2 bogeys in a row. We started off hot though. Birdie on 1, and then we chipped in for birdie on 2. This scorecard is also not great. But we went birdie, birdie, par, bogey, bogey. We are, the wheels are coming off. We're going to try to get this up there, though. If we're going to hit it wayward, at least I'm going to try to hit it hard and wayward. Clock system, I've never done it. I mean, my wedges are usually like outside and in the sim. Generally speaking, they're like pretty decent. It's just the past, same thing with my irons. There's no feel. I lost like, I need a new swing thought or something for those. Maybe trouble. Maybe trouble. Definitely trouble. All right. Well, congratulations, Stabby. Probably not the best line on that first one. Time for a couple birdies. Well, I'll try to put this inside the circle for you here. Super high on the face, but would have been nice on the first stroke instead of the third. Probably like a 47-ish, maybe even 50. Oh. Nice pull scold, 60 degree. I mean, it's moving, but it's uphill. A little drippy drip for another bogey, hopefully. Well, all things considered, decent bogey save, but still a bogey. Ben, are you talking about the beta, I'm assuming, Frank? You said you've been fiddling with it and it's growing on you? That's what I mean. I was saying it last night. Last night was more so just the initial impressions of how everything looked. Obviously, it wasn't like absolutely horrendous. I just think things don't look as good as they could, and they already do. But it's different in terms of the gameplay. It's different. It feels like almost, I keep saying muted, but slower. I guess you could say smoother too, maybe. Good round going. Oh, I don't know about that. It was a good round, Frank, but then we just got 3 bogeys in a row. So, but if we try to keep it to, I think 7, unless we go absolutely lights out and I turn into Tiger on the back. If I turn into that cardboard cutout that Stabby has in his sim of Tiger, maybe. But if we keep it somewhere around even, maybe 1 or 2 under, I'd be pretty happy. But Oh, it's fine. That was supposed to draw, though. 90 up 6. 4 degrees left. Need about 95. $85, even that. That's usually like my go-to shot. I think I may need to, maybe either after this or before I play next time, just hit balls with nothing on and just only focus on like contact and how it feels. Not care about what it's doing. All right, what's the math on this? 13, 49, basically a 50-footer. Go, go. All right. Pars are better than bogeys. I heard that somewhere. The scores make a little more sense. I thought those were a bit on the higher side. But Stavi apparently had no problem. Stavi is a good driver of the ball, though. I mean, he's a good player overall. He doesn't miss a ton left and right and whatnot. Appreciate the follow, Eric. Well, I hit it hard. 278 raw, 163, 162 and a half. Definitely coming out lower now that I'm back down to 8 degrees instead of 10. But spin's better. I just need to get the launch up a little bit. I like when they launch higher. All right, we need a back nine bandit. Well, you know you're a good player, Stavi, obviously. I think I was watching, I was either watching you guys or Nordog popped in, and she said that I think the word she said is you've been playing since you were a wee lad or something, which obviously you can tell. We were saying how I can notice your flexibility. You're just able to you get down here really good with a lot of side bend. The way that I probably need to do more of that, but the way I see it and the way that my brain works is if like there was a limbo bar here, and as you're coming down, you do a really good job of almost like ducking with that flexibility. Amongst other things, you do really well too, obviously. 95, not 85. 95, 95, 95. 99, spin hard. All right. Better. Stavi's a swinger of the club. Appreciate the follow, Kelton. Want to be Stavi when I grow up? Me too. This doesn't look very downhill to me. I mean, it's moving. Just outside the edge. Oh, watch this go off the green. So I was trying to hit it 9, and it went 26 feet. I don't know what that 4.6 ball speed. I know there was a ridge there. I don't know what that 4.6 ball speed equates to, but apparently that was not the speed and that was not the line for a 4.6. Although I didn't feel like I hit that very hard, and I feel like that was a halfway decent putt. That's brutal. It was just a straighter putt, I guess. You are the swinger. Popo coming for me. What was 4.6? Where's D-Lud? What's the math on that? I mean, now this is like 18 feet. Jeez. It's a hard fought par. Pars are not supposed to be that hard. Talking's not supposed to be that hard either. No way. 4.5 mile an hour is 18 feet on 11 stimp? Or are you just trolling me? Because I hit it so hard. Do I have the triple bogey? I think I do. Let's fact check old FFK. What'd I say? What was it? 4.6? 13. 4.5 mile an hour on 11 stimp is 13.4, according to Mr. Triple Bogey. What the heck do we got up here? We finally got some room left and right? Maybe? 90% air through those trees. 4.8. So it's probably like 15. What in the wide world of changed fonts is going on here? They actually updated it? You think this looks different from last night? Murph was saying that there was an update before, like an hour before I went live. So you think that? I can't tell the difference. You think? Maybe someone over at GSPro is watching. Go, hit the cart path. Hit the cart path. Hit it. That's definitely, it's a more, I'm sorry, I keep saying muted, but that's the only word that's coming to mind. They're definitely like landing softer, despite being normal. Whether that's the camera playing tricks or not, I don't know, but. You think it's better? I didn't think, maybe that's why Frank said it was growing on him. I was thinking it changed. Maybe that's why, to me, it looks about the same, maybe a little bit bolder. So maybe that's why I'm like, maybe it's not as bad as I originally thought. Maybe they're playing tricks on us, though. Maybe they're updating stuff behind the scenes to make us second guess what we were originally saying. But personally, I can't tell a huge difference. To me, it looks about the same. Maybe that looks a little bit better, the AIM font. Maybe you're right, now that you mention it. But I played a bunch on the range. That looked about the same. And I've already played 8 holes here. Kind of tough to see what hole you're on, though. Like that 9 up there, that's not very clear in terms of the 9 and the par 4 and the yardage. But I probably wouldn't have come to that conclusion if you didn't say that, crushing it. But you may be right. Not space font anymore with yards in the name. Distance marker in the middle was purple yesterday. Now it's blue. Less blocky. Well, that's what I was saying. Like yesterday, you would think, all things considered, with how pretty intricate GSPro is, you would think fonts would be something they could like literally switch within like 10 minutes. You would think. That seems pretty minor in the grand scheme, but out of the rough, 53. So we're probably like, or 63 rather. We're probably like 65, 67. So I got to hit this about 60-ish. 64. Wow. That's short. What'd that come out as? 11% out of there. I mean, it's uphill, but it's moving. 14. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. A little pushy push, too. More vertical now. It's already much better. Voices must be heard. If I don't enjoy GSPro, I'll have to spend more time with my family. All right. Kind of a tweener here. I need to hit the 6 iron really well, which probably won't happen. There is a backstop, so I think that means it's probably a 5, and this still may not be hit well, but I mean, as far as I know, you would think someone over there probably watched some of last night, you would think, because as far as I know, I was the first person to do like a video or anything. Whether they took other people's like Facebook comments kind of stuff, if people were posting pictures on Facebook, maybe. But if they were like happening to watch a video or something, as far as I know, I was like the first person to kind of show it on a streaming live stream kind of thing. Second Flight, I know, posted, I think that was this morning. But whether they, I don't know, maybe they saw his this morning and then did it, or just neither of ours, I guess. But if you think it changed, I would think there's probably some possibility of that. Oh, left. Maybe it's crushing it. Maybe crushing it actually works for GSPro. $12 degrees up. So we'll give this another 11 yards up to 32, almost 33. So we're probably looking at almost a 27 to 30, I think. I had a feeling moving that over. That's tough. That was a possibility. I aimed over. I know Big Dog always says they come out pretty straight, but just because the green was breaking that way more than anything, I aimed a little bit left, and I think we aimed into the higher section. 30, 31. I think it's the same shot, but we aimed into the higher section of that bank, unfortunately. That follow cam's still a little bit wonky, whether it's the follow cam or the shot tracer. Couldn't pay me enough. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. I personally, I think I've talked to him like once, so I don't know. He could very well be good guy, bad guy. I honestly have no idea. It seems like there's people that have different experiences out there, so I don't know. I think he's mostly SGT though, right? Like I don't know their whole org structure or whatever you would call it. I think he's mainly SGT though, right? I don't know if he does a ton on the GSPro actual game side. Maybe he does. I don't know. 8 feet. Whew. Another bogey, 2 over. What are we in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in 6th place at 2 over. Toey again. I hit it decent. Whoa. Invisible trees. Oh boy. I don't know if it's the workouts lately or whatever, possibly, but like, seems like my arms and my lower body seem a bit more disconnected than usual. 134 out of the rough. I think we hit like a Bobby Sling Blade Wade kind of hooky 9 iron. He killed off the duplicate course. What? So how did that? I remember you posted the pictures crushing it. I looked for the other one to see who the designer was, and it wasn't even there. What was? Do you have any of the backstory on that? Like how long the other one had been up, and like did they pick one? I guess did they decide which one they liked better or something? Oh, did I clip it? So that was supposed to be, that was honestly a decent shot. That was supposed to be a bigger hook, and I just hit it good. So maybe I need to feel more like I'm hitting a big hook. Because that was actually hit pretty decent. That was just like an actual good 9 iron. Not much of a, I don't think that was going to go that far. And strike that as well. $29, 30 feet or so. One more click. I will say I do like the seemingly easier to aim on the keyboard. That's nice. Stuff like that, obviously, I'm all for. Like, if it was up to me so far, it would be, I'm sure they're going to keep working on how it's all displayed, but that changing the putter, the total length with the putting, that's awesome. That should get taken over. Like, I wish they would do more like frequent updates for those little things. Like add that to the stable and add the fact that it's easier to control the keyboard to the stable, and then work on the other stuff, I would think. Pulled it. It's probably too much break anyways. This is tough sledding, boys. Tough sledding on this course. He said he liked my alter egos better. I'll tell you what, Imposter, I go back and forth. For the record, we played with him once. He seems like a great guy. I just have fun because it's the same name, but I call him like Imposter Rocket. But he's really talented at building courses. They look great. He did Newport Country Club, and that's been one of my favorite courses over the past couple months. Kind of home area type of bias is part of that, but it also looks really good. I thought when we loaded it up, I thought it was like kind of on par with like a C sim golf type of course, in my opinion. So I get why they would pick that, but yeah, I get if someone spent, depends how long the other one was up though, right? Like had the other one been up for like 2 years, and then HZRDUS did his own 2 years later, or were they like building it at the same time? Did he like just put it up and then the other one was like 2 weeks later? I think that kind of matters too, like the context. But they have, as far as I know, the designers all have like a big spreadsheet. So everyone else knows what the other designers are working on. So that doesn't happen in terms of like two people working on the same thing unknowingly at the same time. Well, there's the spinny miss. That was a brutal kick. 221 out of the rough. Hybrid, try to get there. Unfortunate situation of being called two different names by the locals. Where'd you see that, Crushing It? Did you just happen to find that yourself, or did you see that somewhere else? Oh. That's almost a 3 hybrid Hosel rocket there with a 17 spin access. .29 uphill out of the rough. I mean, it's probably about a 33, 34, 35. So I'm looking probably 28 to 30. .29. All right. Can't reveal your sources. SUT Discord. Honestly, I only go in there. I've heard same thing with that, mixed reviews. I've heard that discussed as or be called a cesspool. So I honestly don't go in there a ton. I stay out of that, and the only reason I usually go in there is when either we set a course record or someone takes mine. I kind of stay out of that. Same thing with the Facebooks, honestly. I don't know. It very well could just be automated, but I thought people may be interested in this update. So I was trying to post it on the Facebook, and I looked, and I did an updated post back in December, like over a month ago, I think it was, about telling people about the designer tip jar. And whoever runs the big Facebook pages, either didn't want that out there or they didn't see it and didn't like manually approve it. But it was both the two big groups I tried to post. I almost never post on that. I tried to post the update to let people know about the designer tip jar that I put together, hopefully to have people donate a couple bucks to the designers. And I had to delete it. They weren't letting it through in like over a month. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it wasn't like I was trying to benefit off it. I'm trying to help out the designers. Whether it slipped through the cracks or not, I don't know. But yours is the League of Distinguished Gentlemen. Something like that. We're just a bunch of crazies. Short and left. We're out of the rough, probably 12 or 13, maybe even 14. So we're looking at like 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. A little bit better feel these past couple holes on some of those short shots. Those have been plaguing me. Really, everything has. Have zero confidence with irons. Driver, I just switch back down. Driver's not great, and this isn't exactly the most confidence-inspiring driver course either. Appreciate it, Adam. You believe in me? I appreciate it. At least someone out there does. At least someone out there does. I'm going to do, this one's for Adam. I don't know where it's going to go, Adam, but we're going to swing hard. We got OB left, so that could be fun, but we aim pretty far right. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll take that for sure. 159, 274 raw, 2100 spin. That was actually closer to a baby draw, not a hook or a block. Sounds familiar. Have to believe to achieve. I agree with that. I like it. I like it. You're not wrong. All right, let's believe here. So we've got 96. We got to hit it about 91. Let's believe in a 91 here. 1 degree right. Choke down approach wedge. 91. 104. Hit it decent though. Give us a putt. Give us a putt. Give us a putt. Oh boy. If I don't know how many people are over there, Adam, if you're still watching. I used to stream on TikTok. It was honestly a couple years ago I started doing it. I'm curious though. I think those roses, I don't know a ton about all the gifts and whatnot, but I think those roses are pretty cheap. If you or anyone else watching could possibly just send one so I can see if I can see it over here, if it goes through, that would be greatly appreciated. I think they're pretty cheap if I'm not mistaken. So if you wouldn't mind spending like 5 or 10 cents, whatever they cost, just so I can see. Because ideally I'd be able to see it go through, and then it would also pop up so other people can see it too, so I can thank you or anyone else. So this is down 17. It's like 25 footer. It's probably going to be more. Oh, I hit it pretty firm. That's got to simmer. See ya. Those are touchy. Touchy, touchy. Oh, man. That's how today's going. Oh, there we go. Appreciate you, Adam. Had to change the password to buy them. I appreciate you. Do you know, for example, just so I know, what does one rose cost? I think it's pretty cheap, right? But I can actually see that. Can you see that on your end? Hopefully. Oh yeah, it went through. Okay, cool. Appreciate you. I just didn't know. That's nice. So I can now see if anyone were to send anything, I can actually see it. The one thing with super chats, you obviously know how much it was, but some of these different character and emoji type of stuff, I'm not quite as familiar with. This is straight uphill, isn't it? 20 yards up. I don't know if that's going to get there. It comes a little bit. Oh, it's only 10 feet up. That's 5 up. All right, we'll try that. it was like 30 cents for X amount. Well, that's what I was curious. You know, like how many did you get for 30 cents? Did you get, is it like 100 for like 30 cents or what? Because from what I remember, those are like the cheapest things. Odd pricing. It's like 29 cents for 21 coins plus 11 bonus. That is pretty odd. The day I sent a grown man a rose watching sim golf. Well, send me a couple roses crushing it. Get over there on TikTok and send me a couple roses. All right. Ball's coming out a little bit lower, a little bit flatter. 12 VLA, I can tell that with the going the driver back down to 8 degrees, but I don't hate that. We're hitting it a little bit better these last couple holes. All right, we are up to 140 and then the rough. We'll try a 9. And based how I hit that other one, if I try to kind of hook it, that would seem to be better contact. How high is the tee? The tee's pretty high, Turbo. It's the second tallest one. I bought a bag of those tees on Amazon. There was like, I think you got like 15 of them, all like 3 different, or 3 tees per size. It was like $13. But the ones that I'm using are the second tallest. I'll show you in comparison. So these are the ones, that's what I'm currently using. This one's a step below, if you can see that. And then there's one more above this one. So I'm using, based on these, I'm using the middle one. So the other one's probably that much taller than that one, if that makes sense. Still pretty tall though. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches up off the ground. Whatever they are, believe it or not, I use those on the course as well. And people, which is kind of funny, people make fun of me, rightfully so, between the 2 gloves and the rubber tees on the course. But I looked it up because people sometimes funnily or jokingly chirp and like, oh, is that tee even legal kind of thing? But if you look up the PGA rules, if you type in like, if you just Google, can you use like a rubber tee? There's nowhere in the rules, the actual PGA rules, that specify a material. They just need to be below a certain height, which I think is like 3.75 or close to 4 inches, which all of them are below. So technically, the guys on tour could use these and just put them down. But the reason why I do it is because I put these, you can see, right on top of the mat. And then outside, sometimes they tip over a little bit, but outside, if I just kind of stomp the grass down a little bit with my foot, I'm at the same exact tee height, both in here and outside. Versus, obviously, most people use the wooden or plastic ones, but you're putting it even slightly a little bit different into the ground every time for most people. Didn't think I'd be tweaking or twitching either. I appreciate you over there with the Amazon Prime. How's the new update going? What's it all about? It's just a, this is a beta version Black Cloud. So they roll these out every so often just for people to test. So this is what, in theory, if GSPro rolled out another big update, in theory that this is what it would look like. So we're just testing it out. It's an optional beta update. So far, they seemingly tweaked it between when I was live last night. Whether it was because of that or not, I don't know. But they tweaked it slightly in terms of the fonts and how bold. It must have been those were a little bit thinner. The data tiles last night, they tweaked it a little bit. But mainly the big thing is just how things look in terms of like the start screen, the main menu, how this is all displayed. Like the scorecard up there looks way different. This scorecard also looks way different. And I haven't been quite able to put my finger on it yet. But Take a Low said smoother. I could see that. I would say all the bounces and the way the ball reacts a little more slow and soft and muted, I would say, is how it feels. But those are the main things. I'm fairly persuasive. 3D printed some for me and my brother. He uses 75 millimeter tall. I use 40. I could measure. People have asked before. I could, because I know people use like the K2Ts. They use like a number 5 or whatever. I could look, put it up to a tape measure. Sim golf to save my mental. 5 months without golf is the worst. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I don't know if you have, if you go to a place, Adam, indoors, you have your own sim. If it's some guys here that I play with have like really, really nice sims where they have climate control, dedicated room, all that stuff. I'm kind of out here in the uninsulated elements of the garage, but it's not too bad today. But I agree. I say that this is the most fun you can have without leaving home, is the way I put it. All right, 9 iron. Okay, I struck it good. We may be back. We may be maybe on the other side of this brief iron slump. That was long and it was a little bit too far left, but I hit it good. Appreciate the follow, Turbo. I know Bryson tees it high as well as most of the long hitters. I mean, that's kind of why I did it, where like I'm unfortunately not appreciate the follow, Adam. I'm unfortunately not like 6'5" and lanky. So at a certain point, the length of like my limbs and everything else, just in terms of like generating power and torque, I'm kind of capped. I know Rory's a freak in nature, but generally speaking, the longer hitters are the taller, lankier, really flexible guys that can generate a ton of torque. So I kind of went down a path of like, I've always been able to swing relatively hard, but like, how do I get a little bit more out of it? And like you said, basically, I noticed that long drive competitors, Bryson, a lot of the big hitters, they tee it up pretty high and they're doing it for a reason. So whether that's the optimal like tee height to play at, you could probably make an argument, maybe not, but we're going to pull this. I just do it so I hopefully hit up on it. Usually I try to be in the neighborhood of about 6 degrees up on the driver. I feel like when you're teeing it up higher, it's easier to do that without having to be super overly flexible. But all right, 11 out of the fairway. Uphill a little bit, so we're looking at about a 5, 6, or 7 yard raw carry. 8, sit. Wow, that landed soft. So like that, I don't know. That definitely reacts different. Whether that's better or not, I don't know. It's definitely different. Rigged with the MLM2 Pro in the garage. Nice. I almost got an MLM2 Pro. Just about 2 years ago. April will be 2 years. I started with the Garmin R10. If you go back on my channel, outside in the backyard, I used Home T Hero off of my phone for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then 2 years ago, I decided, all right, I'm either going to get an MLM2 Pro. As before the Square was even rumored to be coming. There was no mention of it. I said, okay, I'm either going to upgrade the R10 and get an MLM2 Pro, or I'm going to get a laptop and get GSPro. And I opted for the laptop because I was still outside, and GSPro and get more life out of the Garmin. So I used that for a couple months. And then right as the weather started to turn, last year around October is when the Square came on the scene. And I definitely wasn't one of the first people. Or what's his name? Spike's Blue Collar was, I think, the first person literally in like America to have one, at least to put one out there in terms of YouTube. And then Gary Golfy over in the UK, he may have been the first one overall that had one and kind of put it up on YouTube. And then ever since then, I've been inside. But I was close to getting the MLM2 Pro. Unfortunately, it's not as good. Anything radar is not going to be as good inside. The thing that put me off was the subscription. I think it's still $200 a year, or you can buy like the lifetime for $500. To me, if I was you, I would personally sell it and buy a Square. That's what I'm using. The Square is absolutely awesome. No subscription, camera, no matter what. Even when you're talking about TrackMan, in terms of ball data, camera-based optical units are always going to be better indoors than anything behind you radar. Even TrackMan, as crazy as that sounds. But MLM2 Pro is solid. You have to do probably webcam putting, I would assume, but propane heater, I run a couple minutes. I have one of those. It's the regular Mr. Buddy one that just goes, it's kind of, you screw it on top of a regular like gas grill propane tank kind of thing. The problem is it works more as like an infrared heater. So it heats people and objects far more efficiently than like a space heater. Because I'm uninsulated, everything just kind of seeps out anyways, but I do have one. Honestly, I've been using them. People joke about it, but I have the past maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I've been using electric heated socks, which make a huge difference for me. I got 2 pairs of them. I like them so much. So honestly, with the socks and I bundle up, I'd rather have the electric socks than the propane heater and start and burn through propane again. Do we pick a good line? Nope. Sit. Hit it decent. Stepped away for a while, going for your longest time round. I'm just taking my time, honestly. I was up last night. Last time I checked the clock was about 3:45 a.m. So I'm moving just in general kind of slow today, to be honest. I had to stay up and get something finished unrelated with sim golf and all this nonsense. But the update kind of threw a wrench into stuff last night. MLM served me really well. Yeah, I mean, it's still a great, like, under $1,000 unit. I would go, in terms of under 1,000, I would go Square number 1, honestly, by a good amount. Then I would go MLM 2 Pro and then Garmin R10 as of right now. MLM requires too much space, minimum of like 16 feet. Yeah, I mean, optical too. All I need is enough room to swing the club. Was able to get a lifetime. Wait and see if I can figure a Square R50 from a friend. Honestly, I would save the money and go Square. I'm not a huge fan of the R50. Bills play Saturday, 4:30. Pets are a weird time, 3 p.m. Sunday. Yeah, there's 2 games. We mentioned that. 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. 4:30 and 8:30 Saturday, and I think like 3 and 6:30 on Sunday or something like that. $73 out of the rough. We're probably up to close to almost 80. So it's probably going to be about a 75. Not 85. How's that go so far? Need to install a mini split or gas-powered infrared panels. Never heard of gas-powered infrared. Oh, I think I know what you mean, actually. They have them on the ceiling, and they kind of shoot at you. I think I know what you're talking about. How's the new update? I don't know. Different. I don't know. It's not necessarily groundbreaking one way or the other, but I still think visually the other one looks better. There's a couple of good things here, but all right, this is very ticklish here out of the rough. I think I need, on a 15-degree downslope into a downslope, 8 out of the rough. I think I need like a 3. Like a 3 or a 4. I don't know the MLM 2 Pro. I don't know if you can do this with an MLM 2 Pro. 2.7. Like, the fact that the Square can even read that, that's pretty impressive. Par. 2 holes left, Hoosier. 2 holes left. Oh, course looks pretty good, but honestly not one of my favorites in terms of the layout. All these courses have their own rightful place. I'm just not good enough, or at least good enough today, to thoroughly enjoy some of the pinpoint accuracy you need here in terms of picking lines and whatnot. This seems a little bit slower too. The aiming's a little more stable, Toast, in terms of like using the keyboard to aim for a putt. It's a lot less jumpy. Haven't had any read issues with mine. Heard some stories though. Short chips are fine. Had it for over a year now. If you guys didn't know too, if you have anyone, some people with the MLM 2 Pro, they use the Springbok connector and they use the X Putt. Toast was one of the guys. He used the Garmin R10, the X Putt. The Square and X Putt, they're the same company. So the square makes the X-Putt, or the X-Putt makes the square, which is one of the reasons why the square is so good at putting accuracy and those short little chips too. I feel like that doesn't get enough mention. That's kind of a big deal, the fact that they had a product already that was that well performing. Oh. So that's either... Huh. Did I not move the ball? That one may have been... I may have not been paying attention because I was talking. That one may have been with the red stars facing the square, because that was 0-0 and there was no club data. Those are very few and far between. Haven't tried this next rig again until I change units. Been evolving over a year now. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a kind of a rabbit hole, right? You get started and then it's just a constant between computer, hitting mat, projector, screen, all that stuff, units. 108 out of the rough. Uphill. I think I need about a 110. Decent distance. I just aimed too far left, and I drew it a touch. These putts have been nasty too. I had 2 years of most fun with the X-Putt. This thing snaps. Stay up. Need to be way higher and probably a little more pace. Well, another pretty mediocre round, to be honest. Congrats, Stavi. I don't know if anyone's catching you on this one. Better. Kind of high toe, but that works. No complaints with 278 in the air. Square is as accurate. All right, 83, 2.9 left. Uphill to about 86. So we need like an 80. Maybe an 81, 82, somewhere in there. Make sure we get spin. That came out funky. Not great. Yeah, honestly, the square is great. I was kind of saying the same thing with GSPro. Like, I've never been offered, let alone got sent anything in terms of like GSPro or square or whatever. So I paid full price for all this stuff. So if there's stuff that, like, the square still needs club head speed. There's no unit's perfect. The square is definitely not perfect either. But for the price, if you're paying for it like I did, we've been saying best value in sim golf. And you could honestly make a case for the best value in golf in general in terms of how good the square is. You look at like Joe Legowski videos that do head-to-head with the GC3. I know he had interference in some of them, but for pretty much everything you see, and for as much as I've used it. I've probably hit tens of thousands of shots with this thing. It's pretty awesome. 31-ish. That's a little bit slower to follow the putts too. Lip out for par. There we have it. 2 over 72. That was a tough course, to be honest. New look at the stats here too. 10 pars, 3 birdies, 5 bogeys was the story. 303 longest, 286 average, 157, 162, 81 feet of putting, 27 putts, 1 sand save. Hour and 17. Honestly, not that bad. That felt a lot longer than that, but I was playing pretty slow. 10 out of 18 greens in regulation, 4 out of 14 fairways. What's new with GSPro? Mainly visual. There were some changes there in terms of how the ball reacted and stuff. We're getting towards the end of it here. Mr. Mark Silva, appreciate you stopping in. But it was about an hour and a half last night going through it for the first time. And then I've mentioned it a couple times throughout this. But basically the big things are visually, like for example this, how these things are displayed. That's the biggest difference. And you'll see here, even like if we go back to the home screen, everything looks way different. Those data tiles up there look different. Obviously, this all looks different. The camera was a little bit different in terms of how it tracked the ball. How the ball reacted was a little bit different. Everything was a little bit softer. And Take a Low said smoother. I would agree with that. Still trying to kind of process. Like I don't play any of this stuff like usually off camera. So like I'm playing. That was the first time I really played 18 holes. So I'm still trying to kind of gather my thoughts too of actually what was different, what was good, what was bad. I really like the biggest thing I think for me is probably the putting total length, which is pretty minor, but that's cool. Where you hit the putt and it converts it over to feet for the total length. That's pretty nice. More organized on some of the menus, which is nice. But I'm out of here. I think I'm going to wrap it up. There's a chance I come back out because it's nice and warm. I messaged someone before. I don't know if he got back to me. But there's a chance I come back out in maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, possibly. I'll have to see. Honestly, I could use an earlier night, but we'll see. Thanks for the stream. See you, Black Cloud. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Hopefully, if you were newer, we'll see you back in here. I've been trying out some different things lately, so hopefully we stumble across some newer people to the channel, but it's always fun. Usually I'm a little more upbeat and have usually a little more energy, especially if I got more than a couple hours of sleep, which is the big thing. But also when I'm playing well and hitting the ball well and kind of scoring well, it's kind of easier to keep kind of the good vibes going. But see you, Turbo. See you, Hoosier. Appreciate very generous Flying Fat Kid with the $20 super chat. Greatly appreciate. Grip and Sip with the $2 Canadian. Also appreciate. Adam sent a rose over there on TikTok. Also appreciate. We'll see about, like I said, tonight in terms of if there's anyone left. In terms of the schedule, I will be out here 6 p.m. tomorrow for Thursday Thunder. We call it TNT for short, which usually consists of 2 to 4 man teams playing a scramble, all competing for the course record on the same course. So I think we have 5 or 6 groups tomorrow of 3-man teams, all going for the same course record, which we may need to start not mentioning the course super far ahead of time, just so we like having an open course record. So all the groups that are playing, they all have an even chance of possibly getting it, versus if someone happens to pop in, whether on accident or not, and set the course record first. We try to make, Frank's been doing a really good job keeping the teams even. So we try to split up teams and not just put 4 absolute ballers together, or 3. But I'm using a laptop, Mark. I'm using a laptop. I wish I had a desktop, but kind of what I was saying before, I bought the laptop in GSPro when I was still in the backyard with the Garmin R10. So that was the reason why I went laptop, to be able to obviously bring it inside and outside. Having known that I would have ended up going over to the Square and be indoors, I definitely would have probably saved about half the money and got a graphics card that was probably twice as powerful with a desktop. So if you're looking to either upgrade or build your own, definitely go desktop if you don't need to move it around a lot. But tomorrow I'll be out here for sure. I already have that scheduled. You can look at the scheduled stream, 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then whether I do anything either tonight or tomorrow before that, that is to be determined. But now I'm actually out of here. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate the support and the super chats. I will leave you guys with my cool new end screen to wrap this up. See you on the next one.